Hi everybody, this video is your math video for Tuesday. I'm gonna backtrack a little bit because the last math video I made was an introduction to perpendicular lines, but I realized you guys had to do 187 and 188 yesterday. So if you guys had any confusion about that with line segments, this page right here, line segments. All we're doing, we're still working on perpendicular lines, but you're just using a set like BC and AB to name all the lines that are perpendicular to each other. Remember, they're crossing each other like this, okay? So in the example, it does it for you on page 187. Excuse me. So it says in the example, segments AB is perpendicular to BC. And that's true, because if you look at it, if you put it like this, you could see it forms a right angle right here, okay? So AB and BC are perpendicular to each other. I could draw a right angle right here. See that? Okay? So then you would just do the same for the rest of them, okay? Number 12 has a few perpendicular lines, okay? 13 and 14, okay? And you would just label it as the letters that are in there, okay? Let's do 12 together, just to make sure you guys get the hang of it. So, my eyes immediately jump to M and N and RM. Those are perpendicular to each other, right? They make a perfect right angle. So we could write segments M, N, and RM. No, I'm sorry, MR. You should really do it in alphabetical order. Okay. Okay. Right? Segments M, N, and MR are perpendicular to each other. Again, you should be able to draw a little square. Should be a perfect right angle, okay? All right. And on page 188, it says to identify and name a pair of perpendicular line segments on each object. So you just choose one. Very similar to what you did on the last page. Okay, you find a right angle, two lines that make a right angle, and then you label them. Okay. Okay, so for number 17, you could think of two objects that have perpendicular line segments. You could use your imagination, or you could use the internet to find pictures of these objects. You don't need to print and paste them below. You could draw them if you want. And then just show me where the perpendicular line segments on each object is. So if you wanted to choose the book, you wanted to choose like a video game system, any object in your house, countertop, whatever you want, okay? It's up to you. And then you could just draw it and then show me where the line segment is that's perpendicular to each other, okay? Remember, perpendicular line, it's a perfect 90-degree angle, okay? So moving on to parallel lines on page 189. Parallel lines is the opposite of what a perpendicular line is. Perpendicular lines, like we said, intersect each other. They meet each other. They're One's going one way horizontally, one's going the other way vertically. Parallel line runs next to each other, okay? So whether it's this way, up and down, this way, as long as they're exactly running right side by side, okay? Perfectly straight side by side, it's a parallel line, okay? So for practice 4, it says guess if the lines are parallel. Count square units between the lines to check your guess. Okay? You want to visually see if they're parallel. You don't have to count square units between the lines to check your guess. You could visually see if the lines are parallel. So for example, I could tell you right now, number 1, you just have to ask yourself, are those exactly straight? No, right? This would have to be, if this was to be parallel, the line would have to look like this, the line that I drew in, right? This to this. So number 1's not parallel, okay? It has to be exactly right next to each other. Number 2, those are parallel, okay? I just did the first 2 for you. They're running exactly at the same angle as each other, okay? So I would mark 2 off, right? Check 2 off there, okay? And then I want you to do the same for 3 to 6, 3 through 6. Okay. Page 190. 190 is similar to the other page you did with perpendicular lines. You have a bunch of lines and you have to find the ones that are parallel to each other, okay? So for number 7, there's 2 lines that are parallel to each other. It's this one and this one, right? This one is not parallel to these 2 lines, okay? It's kind of just stuck in between there, okay? So it says use a colored pencil to trace a pair of parallel lines in each figure. So you could use a colored pencil. Right now I'm just going to use a pen. I'm just going to circle the 2. Okay, I just circled them like that to identify them. You're going to do the same for 8 through 10. And then for 11, you're going to circle the letters that have parallel line segments. So I would circle letter F because these 2 lines are parallel. They're running right next to each other in the same exact direction, the same angle. So I would circle that. Okay, and then you just go through the rest of the letters and look for parallel lines. Okay, and that's it. Okay, thanks for watching.